Well, hello everybody. It's a good day in the neighborhood. How you doing back there, Johnny?
Doing good. Doing well.
It's a little chilly today. Yesterday I was out almost in bikinis.
Yeah, it was real nice weather
Almost.
yesterday.
82 degrees though.
You wouldn't see me in no bikini though.
Me either, really. So today I want to welcome back one of my guests, Ms. Carrie Miller from Our Home Tranisitional. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you very much.
Carrie has is working on a project for female veterans, so I'm just going to let you jump in and give me an update on what's been going on since you were last here.
Okay, well, Our Home Tranisitional we've been working diligently to raise funds to purchase the 10-bedroom, 3-story home in downtown Flint, just north of downtown, to use for our transitioning services. But in the meantime, we are working with SVMAP and Of Impact LLC and calling ourselves the Veterans Trio or Veterans Organization Trio. Yeah, and we all provide specific services for veterans, primarily female veterans, but Of Impact does work with both male and female veterans. And we have some clients that are in pilot programs in an apartment or a home of their own provided by SVMAP. And we are just working and trying to get this organization up and running and providing services to female veterans in need.
Now, you've been at this for a little while. Do you see like everything is like very close to being up, or is it something that's still dragging that you guys just can't quite get together?
Well, the organization was founded in February 2012, so when you look at it like that, we are still quite young, and we are in operational phase at this point. So we've done quite well and done it quickly. We are a registered 501c3. Really, our only drawback right now is getting funding. I do have a grant writer that we just recently recruited who is working on a Newman's Foundation grant, and he'll be starting on some federal grants after that is submitted. We just recruited a fundraiser who is a teacher at the International Academy of Flint. He teaches science and math, and he just came on board to help with fundraising with different organizations and individuals, businesses, and all that. And he's focusing right now on our grand opening ribbon cutting wind down event that we are having on May 16th. And that's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Diverse Expressions Complex, which is located at G3560 Flushing Road in Flint. And the event is being sponsored by the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce. We're going to have a fun-filled evening of wine and hors d'oeuvres, and we'll be having raffles and a silent auction. We're going to have quite a lot of nice items for the raffle and the auction, one of which is a nice painting that has been done by a New York artist. She's sending a painting to us. She does paintings for veterans. You can find her information on our website at ourhometransitional.org, along with the flyer for the grand opening event on May 16th. Everybody is welcome to come. Proceeds go to providing services to all of our veteran clients. Single Veteran Mothers Assistance Program of Impact LLC and Our Home Transitional will introduce all of our available programs and new workshops that we're going to be doing at the new complex, one of which is financial management and budgeting workshops. Those workshops will be provided for free to veterans.
Oh, okay.
Any other organizations that want to set up a workshop, we do charge a small fee, and those funds will go directly to providing programs to our clients. So if you're interested at all in donating any items, gift certificates, or offers for the raffle and silent auction, you can contact me at 810-309-9822 or email me at executivedirector@ourhometransitional.org.
So what kind of people do you have that have donated for your raffle and your silent auction, aside from paintings? What kind of things do you guys have?
Well, I've been doing some boots to ground work, going to different businesses. We've got some gift certificates for tattoo shops. If you're interested in getting a tattoo or piercing, we've got Daddy's Pet Store donated a certificate. Then we have, let's see who else. We've got a dance school free month. There's a couple other certificates that have been donated that of Impact LLC has gotten. My current fundraiser, Matt, is getting donations for that as well. I have some others to pick up. There's a sports shop down on the south side of Flint that's providing some gift certificates and some items. We have a lot. I have a lot to go pick up. The dollar store, or Family Dollar, I believe it is, Kroger, is donating some gift certificates or gift cards, and also a gift card to the organization to purchase what we need for the wine and hors d'oeuvres. So we thank Kroger for that, and everybody that has already donated, and look forward to getting calls or emails on other offers.
Oh, that's great. Because I like to come and find all kind of good stuff.
Absolutely.
When you have a raffle, everybody's like, oh, look at the auction, you know.
Right.
And so now this event, basically, when you're doing this, you're going to be using the money for, like, say, purchasing the house and getting services provided for your veterans. So now what kind of services does Our Home Transitional provide?
Well, through various partnerships that we have throughout the community, locally, statewide, and nationally, all the services that a veteran would need, primarily the mental and physical health care, education, job training and placement, and then helping the clients move to empowerment and self-sufficiency and into a home of their own. So everything that is needed from beginning to getting out on their own. So parenting classes, life skill classes, holistic health care, just anything that you can imagine that somebody would need. Each client will have a program that is put together and geared towards their specific needs.
Now, where do you get the people? Now, are these people, like, say you have someone come in from Planned Parenthood, is that person going to donate their time? Do you have all your people donating their time?
Yes. At this point, all of the programs and services that are being offered through community organizations are in-kind donations. So there is no cost to the client or Our Home Transitional. And any that do charge, that's where the funding that we need would pay for those costs. If there's, for example, if they need transportation, some different organizations provide free bus passes for a certain amount of time or under a certain income limit. But we, to cover what isn't covered, we need those donations.
Now, when the veterans come home, do they have any income, or what happens to them? Because you see so many people on the streets with a sign that say I'm a veteran, and to me that's saying you don't have any income. So what happens to these people when they come home?
Well, a lot of times it's of course it's different with everyone, but if they didn't have income before going in, they're probably not going to have income when they get out. Once you're out of the service, the military doesn't provide you with any sort of income. You don't get a stipend or, like a couple months after you get out to help you move forward.
You have to come out looking for a job or whatever on your own.
Yep, absolutely, yes.
I never knew that, because I always thought when you're in the military, you serve your time, they pretty much, it's like getting a pension for life or something.
Nope.
Because, you've gone over there one way, you come back another way.
Absolutely.
Especially the ones that lose limbs and, all of this stuff. It's just horrific.
Yeah.
And what happens to the families of the ones that don't come back?
Well, there are death benefits if someone is killed in combat or while in the military. that is provided to the family, but it is minimal. So there's a lot of programs out there that are geared towards spouses of the military and family members of military as well. Not as many that's needed, of course, but they are there. And as Our Home Transitional grows, and we become bigger and stronger financially, we'll be adding on more supportive services that kind of span out from right now. Our focus is female veterans, and we'll get bigger and focus on some male veterans, and then families of veterans, and so on, so we get everything covered. But right now, our startup focus is female veterans.
So have you run across any problems with people saying, well, why just females?
Yes, I do get that a lot. People will say that's sexist. Why aren't you?
You're discriminating. I've been over there too.
Right. And the answer to that is there are other organizations in our area that do provide services for male veterans only, and we are the only organization that is solely for female veterans. In the Midwest, pretty much. There's one organization in Virginia and one in California that is for female veterans only. The VA does have about 500 transitional housing centers across the country, and they are all male transitional housing centers, male veterans. However, a couple hundred do allow female veterans, but none of them allow children. And of the ones that allow female veterans, there's about a 10% report rate of some kind of assault, sexual assault, or assault on a female from the male.
I can't understand how it's so little. Like you say, 500 houses, like nationwide. I mean, in all the states, 500.
Right.
But there are veterans everywhere.
Yes.
How can they get away with only supporting that few people? That's why so many are on the streets.
And a lot of veterans don't know what services are out there for them. They don't know where to look to find them, or some may not have. And mind you, this isn't all veterans. Not it's a small percentage of veterans that come back and find themselves in need of services.
Right.
But any number is too many, nonetheless, and that's why we are doing what we're doing, and specifically focusing on the females, because that is a growing population in the military.
Right.
We've seen it double since 1995 to 2010, and to 2015. Almost triple. So and as those numbers increase, so do the numbers of those who come back in need.
It's really sad. I just can't understand every time I think about the ones that are just wandering around. And part of your service now, are you going to have, say, mental health issues?
Absolutely, that's the first and foremost. That's the first thing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
And so the action plan that is set up for each client, first they do an assessment form, and that's quite lengthy and in depth to find out what all of their needs are. And even if they don't put down in that assessment or mention that they feel like they might have some mental issues, that is a priority. They have to go and be assessed,
right?
Just to be sure that if there are any issues that we address those, because if you don't address those, you just can't move forward from that spot.
Yeah. Well, sometimes maybe they may not know it, or maybe they just don't want to talk about that aspect.
Right.
So are you worried that that's going to slip through the crack and then you'll have like an incident or something?
Well, that's always a possibility, but that's why it's a criteria that every client that we have that comes in to use our services, that's the first step that we set them up with, is mental and physical evaluations,
right.
So that we hope to prevent any slips through the cracks. But that always does happen. No matter how many things that you have set up to try to avoid it, but that's our focus, is to make sure that those issues are addressed first.
So how many homes do you have now, if you have any, and how many clients do you have already?
Currently we are working directly with 3 clients, providing services and continuously providing those services over the last year to year and a half. And we have, through the Single Veteran Mothers Assistance Program, they have about 20 houses that are set aside, single-family homes, for our clients. Most of them still need to be fixed up or rehabbed a little bit. They're not all done and ready to go. But as we get clients, and until we get the main transitional home, as clients come up to us and are in need of housing, then we get a house ready for them, kind of on a as needed basis.
So right now, it's only 3 people that know about your service per se, or those are the only 3 that you can actually help?
Yeah, that we are helping right now on a long-term basis. We have helped several veterans, male and female, over the last couple of years with various referrals, transportation, or somebody might just need to know who to contact to help with a resume,
right? Or
somebody might just need to know who to contact to get help with a utility bill for a month or something like that. We've had many people come and go, get their issue addressed and are able to move on and move forward. So we have serviced dozens of people over the last year and a half. But primarily we have 3 main clients that we're working with right now.
Now, are your homes considered long-term, where they can just stay there for a certain length of time, and then by that time they should be ready to move on?
Right. With the transitional home, once that's up and running, everybody would probably, we're thinking 6 to 12 months, maybe 18 months might be, a transitioning process. Like I said, everybody is different, so each one will have their own individual action agreement plan. As long as they're following that plan, there really isn't a time limit on the transitional housing part of it. We do expect to have each person transitioned within a year and a half into a home of their own. And like I said, it could take anywhere from a few months to 18 months. And then once they do move into their own home, provided by our sister org, Single Veteran Mothers Assistance Program, then they have another 2-year program with them. They still receive supportive services through us for a lifetime. Anytime they need anything, they can come to us. But by the time they get into a home of their own, through SVMAP, they are self-sufficient and ready to maintain self-sufficiency. And then with that 2-year program with SVMAP, they maintain their rent, and maintain the upkeep of the home, employment and or schooling, supportive services that are available to them, parenting classes, life skills classes, anything like that. They maintain their health care, mental and physical. And then once that 2-year program is up and they successfully completed that, then SVMAP helps them to purchase that home that they're in at a mortgage rate that fits within their budget, which is the same as their rent that they were paying. And if for some reason they didn't want that particular home, we will help them find another home within Genesee County. If they want to move outside of Genesee County, then we don't have those services. So they're either find another supportive service network that's able to help them, or they move out outside of the county on their own. But if they stay within Genesee County, we help them to purchase a home, either the one that they're currently in for that 2 years or another home. And so we also see it as an opportunity to revitalize and beautify not only the Flint area, but Genesee County as a whole.
Right. Now, what is SVMAP?
That's Single Veterans Mothers Assistance Program.
Okay.
Mother is in the title. However, they're not strictly only for mothers, but we all work with female veterans.
So they could actually have that's a program, like if they come with children, they can help them too.
For example, once Our Home Tranisitional is up and running for probably for about the first year, it'll be solely single female veterans. And those that do have dependents that they are responsible for, instead of moving them into the transitional home, we'll move them into a home of their own right away.
Right.
And they'll go through both the Our Home Transitional services of Impact LLC services and SBMAP services all at one time. And for that first year of the transitional home, the 10-bedroom home, while we're getting that to run perfectly and smoothly with the single female veterans, we'll also be looking into the rules and regulations for having children also.
Right.
We don't have all those set up right now,
Yeah.
so that's why there are special rules and regulations in order to have children in a transitional housing arena. So until we have all those covered, it will only be the single female veterans. But like I said, if we have a mother with dependents, we move her into a home of her own right away.
So have you had to turn down any because they have kids?
No, we've had to refer people to other agencies because our home transitional isn't up and running yet. So we're in desperate need of the funding to purchase that home and to maintain operations of the home. We've got a projected budget of $150,000 that we would need per year to keep the home up and running, which includes all the utilities, maintenance, programs, food, transportation. That includes
Right.
everything. Salaries for a few employees. Like we'll definitely have a paid admin assistant, a paid bookkeeper, a paid executive director. So
you don't get
one
paid.
day. Right now, I don't get paid. No, I don't. This is all volunteer right now, and we have a great volunteer team too. We have a lot of really strong, diverse individuals working together on the board and as volunteers to get this together and to maintain our services.
Well, it seems like you've done well, like you said, in a short amount of time, and now it's just a matter of getting more and more funding. So you have a person that does fundraising. Like, do you have a lineup of some events coming up that you hope to raise more money at?
Well, like I said, the May 16 event, and then we have we, as in the Vet Org Trio and several other Genesee County organizations, there is called the Veterans Stand Down for Genesee County. It's for homeless and in-need veterans and their families. That's going to be on Wednesday, June 4th, downtown Flint at the Riverfront. The University of Michigan Flint has graciously allowed us to use their campus for this event. There's going to be 50 to 100 vendors that will be there that provide various types of services. There's going to be a big, cookout, free food for the veterans and their families, entertainment, play space and bouncy house and all that stuff for kids, and probably a face painter and balloons and stuff like that. It'll be like a big family festival, and there's, like I said, dozens of organizations that will be there as vendors. But there's a main group of, for example, Goodwill, the UAW, the VFW, My Brother's Keeper, and it's a Metro Community Development, and several others that are working together to put this stand down event on. And it's going to be a huge event. There'll be VA reps there to help with benefits, healthcare enrollment, dental, mental health care, counseling, supportive services, ID cards, Social Security Administration will be there, various housing assistance programs, and
so you can even get a haircut.
Yep, yes, we do have, there's a barber who has his office there downtown. He has volunteered to provide haircutting services. We have a couple other licensed barbers that will be there as well. Mirium Marks-mcKeown, she is really the catalyst to this stand down, helping to put this event together. She's the head of pretty much our community, coalition, the Homeless Veterans Coalition of Genesee County, and that My Brother's Keeper, Our Home Tranisitional, SVMAP, and the Department of Veterans Affairs co-founded about, I guess it'd be about a year now. And excuse me, Miriam works with My Brother's Keeper, and she's kind of taken on this whole stand down event. She can be contacted at 810-234-1163 if you are interested in being a vendor at the event or have any questions regarding the event. You can also email Miriam at mirium.mbk@gmail.org. That's miriam.mbk@gmail.org. And again, her number is 234-1163.
Wow, that's going to be a big event. Because I was going to ask you, how do you know that they're veterans? You'd be like, people stroll in to get some free food and be like, well, actually, how do you know they're veterans?
They have to provide their DD-214, which is their discharge paperwork. And that's what DD-214 is what it's called. So all veterans know what that is, and they need to bring that, or their VA ID card, whichever one that they have.
So do you think that would be have you known this to be a big turnout, or have they done anything like this before?
Well, this is the first time that Genesee County has done something this big for the veterans. There have been, in years past, veteran stand-downs. The last one here in Genesee County was put on by Alternative Veteran Solutions at their space over where Diplomat Pharmacy is.
Yeah, yeah.
And, that was an indoor type thing. And I think there was probably about 15 vendors there. So nothing this huge has been put on that I'm aware of in Genesee County in the recent past.
Then when they have it downtown, it's a draw for people to come downtown.
Absolutely, yes. And Metro Community Development is accepting donations on behalf of the Veteran Stand Down, and I believe those funds, anything that is donated, is distributed throughout the veteran service orgs that are putting on the stand down.
So is there, for the May 16 event, for the silent auction, is there anything that you don't have that you would like to see somebody donate? Like a car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would be great. Well, one thing that we're going to do with this raffle that is different than most raffles that you go to is, they take the item and then they say, okay, we have this, and then pull a number and then give that. So what we're doing is we'll pull the number, and then whoever wins can go to the table and pick whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of it's a little different way of doing raffles, but anything, any kind of gift cards, items, offers, certificates, a month free at a karate place, or things like that. Anything that can be donated. If you want to get your business's name out there and have people hear about you. There are going to be local politicians there. Local media is going to be there. There'll be many corporate bigwigs, people from all over the county and even the state. We've got people coming in from Detroit and Lansing and all that for this event. It's going to be a real fun event and a great opportunity to network and meet a lot of people in the community.
Right. Well, I'm glad that everything is going well. I'm glad that you were able to come in today and give us an update on what's happening, and we hope we have you back again. So
absolutely.
Is there anything that you would like to say to wrap it up?
Yes, please go to www.ourhometransitional.org and click on the donate tab. If you are interested in volunteering, there is a volunteer application you can fill out through that website or through Hands On Genesee. And we'd love to see you at the May 16 event and at the stand down on June 4th.
All right then. So we're going to wrap up today's show and make sure that everybody go to that site and make a little donation, and then come to the wind down and make another donation.
Absolutely. Donate.
That's the key word.
Yep.
So I want to thank you for coming in today, Carrie, and it's always nice to see you, and I hope I can help out somewhere down the line.
Absolutely.
But with that, Flaminpit, and we're out.